Continuous session of reproduction in case of Selaginella. We will be speaking about spore producing organs. Selaginella, the sporophytic phase of a Selaginella is a diploid in nature, that is, a sporophytic is 2n in nature. The plants are heterosporous in the sense they produce two different types of spores. One is megaspore, another one is microspore. Megaspore are the large spores, whereas micro are the smaller one. The spores are produced in megasporangia and microsporangia. Now, sporangia is a sac-like structure. If you are going to consider this as a sporangia, sporangia is nothing but a sac-like structure. If this sac-like structure has spores which are smaller in size, they are called as microspore, and the sporangia is microsporangia. Where the sporangia will be? The sporangia will be on the dorsal surface of a fertile leaf. This leaf carrying this microsporangia is called as microsporophyll. In a similar way, the sporangia carrying larger spores called as megaspore. These are megaspore. These are present in a sac-like structure called as sporangia. A sac which contains the megaspore is called as megasporangia. Where this megasporangia is present? It is present on the dorsal surface of a fertile leaf. The leaf which is carrying these megasporangia is called as megasporophyll. Now both these structures are grouped together, that is, these both structure, that is megasporangia and this leaf, they are grouped together to form a compact structure known as strobilus, which is usually found at the terminal structure of the branch. Here the leaves are compactly arranged to form a cone-like structure. So this image, this is a strobili, a compactly packed structure, compactly dense structure is nothing but a strobili. This leaf has, on the dorsal surface, it has got a sporangia containing megaspore. That's the reason it is called as megasporangium, and the leaf is megasporophyll. Similar way, on the dorsal surface of this fertile leaf, there is a sac called as sporangia. In that sporangia, we have spores which are micron, that's the reason it is called as microsporangium, and the leaf carrying this microsporangium is microsporophyll. Here this image shows that this is a formation of strobili. We have sacs here, that is sporangium, which is usually at the tip of the stem, but there are some plants which show some vegetative growth above this strobili. Such condition is called as Selago condition. This we can see in case of Selaginella cuspitata or Selaginella patula. These two species show growth of a vegetative leaf above the strobili. First of all, strobili is formed at the tip, at the apical region of the branch. Above that, there is a growth of the vegetative leaf. These leaves won't carry any kind of spores in them. This arrangement is called as Selago, which may occur for some 2 marks question. A strobili, above strobili there is a leafy growth. Such growth is called as a Selago condition, and example of this one will be species like Selaginella cuspidata and Selaginella patula. Now, if we see the longitudinal section of this strobili, so this is a longitudinal section of strobili, which is very simple. It consists of a central axis here. It consists of a central axis. These are all leaf, okay, fertile leaf. These are all leaf. At the base, on the dorsal surface of leaf, we have a sac-like structure. This sac-like structure contains the spore. The leaf containing megasporangia is nothing but megasporophyll. The leaf containing microsporangia will be microsporophyll. So these both the leaves, that is microsporophyll and megasporophyll, are arranged on the either side of the central axis. So these are the structure of different species of a Selaginella. Here it consists of a central axis covered with spirally and densely arranged sporophylls. Now the position of these sporophyll is different in different species. For example, it may be like both microsporophyll and megasporophyll arranged on the same strobili, like microsporophyll will be on one side and megasporophyll will be on the other side. This is one case. The other case will be like megasporophylls will be present on the downward portion of the strobili. Upper region contains only microsporophyll. Whereas in another case, there is a mixture. We have a megasporophyll, microsporophyll, microsporophyll, megasporophyll. They are mixed. It is not like a specific case, like here only on the left side will be having micro, right side will be having mega, or above we have micro, below we have mega. Nothing like that. There is a mixed formation, mixture of both mega as well as microsporophyll. In another case, there will be only one megasporophyll. Apart from that, rest will be microsporophyll. This we can see in case of that is only one megasporophyll and the rest will be microsporophyll in case of Selaginella kraussenia. And where mixed megasporophyll and microsporophyll, this condition is seen in Selaginella martensil species of Selaginella shows mixed microsporophyll and megasporophyll arrangement. Whereas in case of Selaginella rupestris, we can see megasporophyll arranged below and microsporophyll arranged above. In a species of Selaginella in equifolia, we can say arrangement of microsporophyll on one side and megasporophyll on the other side. Now to begin with the structure of microsporangium. Each microsporangium is a stalk. It is obviously going to have a stalk. With the stalk only it is going to attach to the dorsal surface of the globular leaf. Each sporangium is a stalk with an elongated structure. It varies. The color of the microsporangium varies from red to yellow to brown in different species. The wall is two layered here. Actually, what the thing is, we have two layered structure. This forms the outer covering of sporangium. And inside to this sac-like structure, we have some tissue called as archisporial tissue. This archisporial tissue is going to divide and form spores. And also it is going to differentiate into a innermost layer to this jacket. This layer is called as tapetum. It is nutritive in function. It is going to provide nourishment to the growing spores inside this sac or cavity. So we have spores. Outer to the spores we have tapetum, which is nutritive in nature. Outer to the tapetum we have a two-layered structure, outermost wall of this sporangia. And this structure is attached with the help of a multicellular structure called as base to the leaf. So this is the internal structure of a sporangia. How exactly it's look? It has got a globe shaped structure followed by a base. In this body is made up of two layers, and inner to the two layer we have a layer called as tapetum, which is nutritive in nature, and it is going to provide nourishment to the growing spores, and the spores are embedded in this cavity. This entire structure is present on the dorsal surface of the leaf. Now we will see how exactly the development takes place. Thank you.